good? This your boy Big Daddy Kane, and right now you're checking out the Talk with Todd show.
The new platinum voice of talk radio is Todd Longino, host of Talk with Todd. Log on www.talkwithtod.com.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Kelly Price.
What's up, world? It's your boy Trey Chaney from The Wyatt.
Hey everyone, I'm Gloria Govan.
Yo, it's your boy Joe Starr.
And you are listening to Talk with Todd.
The Talk with Todd show. With the Talk with Todd show.
Caught me on the Talk with Todd show.
Keep it locked.
Welcome to another edition of the Talk with Todd show, a special edition of the Talk with Todd show, man. Right now we have a veteran on the line, one of the smoothest, coolest, cleanest brothers that ever come out of hip-hop, still to this day, and still killing them with the dress code. Everybody welcome Brooklyn's own Big Daddy Kane. Hey, what's happening? Not much, man. Now, Big Daddy Kane, we all know that you're a legend in this game. From everything from how your delivery on the mic to the way you dress and carry yourself. When you came up with the idea with the persona of clean cut and you know, because most rappers will rut. You know, not everybody wants to be clean. Right. What made you want to go with that style and keep that style and not change with the trend of what's going on? Well, I mean, growing up, I've always seen the respect that a lot of the kids in the neighborhood had for my father, who was the type that always wore suits and dress shoes. You know, like they always really admired him, and you know, he used to always ask me about him. So that was pretty much the style that I wanted to have. When coming out of BK, man, coming out of Brooklyn, for these new artists, what does it mean to be when you're coming from that era, when you're coming from that era of New York? What kind of weight are they carrying on their shoulders, and how should they carry themselves with the legends that have come from Brooklyn? Well, I mean, I just think that, you know, Brooklyn cats, like, you know, Brooklyn is just one of those very creative boroughs. You know, I think that throughout the whole course of, you know, this here whole hip-hop thing, Brooklyn has been one of those boroughs where, like, when artists come into the game, they bring some sort of style, fashion, and, if I may say, swag, you know, to it. And I mean, prior to me, I mean, when you look back during the early era, Houdini, they didn't dress like Run DMC, you know, or the Furious Five. They had a real slick, fly look to them, and those are Brooklyn cats. When we look at the era of hip-hop that you were in and the era of hip-hop right now, how does Big Daddy Kane feel about the era of hip-hop right now, how the movement that is going in, and who do you play when you're riding around in your car? Well, I mean, you know, things are a lot different now, and I guess a lot of the stuff that were important back then is not important anymore. You know, matter of fact, when you look at labels, they don't even have artist development anymore. Like, that division doesn't even exist at labels anymore, so there's no one really to teach an artist how to be an artist. It's just put the song out and it is what it is. So you don't really see a lot of that creativity and artistry anymore in the younger generation. But it's the type of thing where I wish that we could, because, you know, we have a lot of, you know, young cats out here that's, you know, really dedicated a lot of serious time to what they do, and I would love to see them have longevity in the game and understand the whole art form for what it is, you know. And as far as who I listen to, I listen to Willie Hutch, you know. Now, how did you feel when did you ever hear the Kendrick Lamar statement that he made about New York City? And if you heard it, what were your thoughts on that when he made the statement about New York, being an artist from New York and from the area that you're from? I mean, I was really just curious to see what was going to happen afterwards, you know. Like, where were, you know, cats going to go with what he said, you know. You know, you cool with that, or you going to, you know, reply? Because, I mean, you know, as far as with me, I'm the type of person that, you know, if I come to L.A., I'm going to try to make it my house. You know, if I come to Atlanta, I'm going to try to make it my house. So, I mean, I can dig where the brother coming from, you know. But, I mean, I think it's up to
New York native to prove him wrong. You know, that's what hip hop is all about.
Right. We had some. There were some artists that responded. Papoose responded. He had a pretty good response. That's probably one of the only few that I actually heard that I thought was a worthy response. But there were some people that did respond to it. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that because I think
I know that Papoose, Joel Ortiz, I forgot who else. I think I can't remember, somebody else. I mean, I know several artists that responded. I guess the thing that really bugged me out the most was that, Kendrick called out artists on that song, and none of those artists responded. Somebody told me that J. Cole just did, but I mean, that's what really threw me off. Like, he called you out on a song, and none of those artists responded. The people that responded were people that he never even mentioned.
Back in the day, if you were to call out an artist in New York City, the response was immediate. It was coming, and you had to be lyrical. You had to be talented to go up against a New York artist in a battle song. Where do you see? Where does hip hop stand right now in New York? Because it's been a change. New York really hasn't had that artist lately that has carried the city on their back.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, it's like, I remember a point in time where, you had the Brat, with that, with her type of Southern flow, Midwest flow, excuse me, and you had, Outkast with their Southern flow, Snoop with his West Coast flow, and New York artists with their New York flow. And right now, I'm seeing so many New York artists trying to sound Southern as opposed to doing what they normally do, Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think that a lot of the originality has to be put back in the game, and it needs to be more diverse, where you have, different style artists you can listen to. I think that's what makes the game exciting. When you can hear one artist to sound this way, another one to sound that way, and it's just, so many different styles, different flows, to make the game entertaining, as opposed to everybody rhyming the same sound, where a mixtape really just sound like a 58-minute song.
Right. When record sales used to mean something. Like if you was going gold or you was going platinum or triple platinum, that meant something. Has that been lost? Because record sales really aren't important as they used to be. There's more downloads now.
There's no such thing as record sales. It's downloads now. There's no such thing as
downloads are more important. So, do you think we need to get the consumer back in the store? Like Master P, for instance, he has an album coming out where it's only available in stores. You can't buy it online. You can pre-order it online, but you can't buy it online. You got to go to the store. Do you think in order to get the value back, we have to get the consumer back in the store, or do you think that the new wave with downloads is the new way? It should be the new way to go.
I think it would be wonderful if you could get the consumer to, go and, go purchase CDs again. I think that would be wonderful, just for the simple fact of connecting with your fan base, that type of thing where they're purchasing a CD just to read the credits or to have the pull-out cover that turns into a poster, like a full,
right.
Like stuff like that. I think that those are the things that made fans really connect with the artists that they were into, and it created that whole bigger support, level. Whereas opposed to with the download, it's like we're living in a mixtape era. So even if you do come out with your own product, there's still like a 95% chance that they're going to go through it and see what songs they like and only download those songs, not the whole project.
Exactly. Like I used to be, I'm a freak of CD covers and artwork. I might just buy an album just based off the album title or just the way the cover looks. It looks interesting. I might want to just go ahead and buy that. I like to look at who produced the record and all the all the things you get inside the inserts. And I with the downloads, do you think that social media and iTunes took away the anticipation of an album? Because you can get everything instant right now.
Well, I don't think it really took away the anticipation. I think what it took away was the real value, because it's the type of thing where a loyal fan back in the days, if someone was doing bootleg CDs, it's the type of thing where a loyal fan would not buy the bootleg because they want to support the artist that that they're into. They want to be able to, like what we just discussed, they want to see the credits, which is never in the bootleg. They want to have that fold-out poster, which is never in the bootleg. They're going to support the product for what it is. And I mean, it's like you had, like the legal stuff like bootlegging going on, but a real fan is going to buy the actual product. Where, as opposed to now, your album can be available free. People will upload your album and have it where everybody can have access to your album the day it comes out. So therefore, it's like it's no longer like, let's wait for a month to see how good this album is doing.
Right.
It's basically how good it did that Tuesday it came out. Because later on that night it's going to be available, on different blogs and different, on sites for free, where someone can just snatch it for free without paying. So I think that's where, social media and the internet hurts artists.
Now, what direction do you feel like the industry needs to go to get it back to where it used to be? I remember a time where, 50, he did 13 million records on his first debut. Eminem did 9 million. Nelly did 9 million. And Luda was doing 2 million. And Jay was doing 4 million. I mean, artists were doing numbers. And that reflected on their show money and the other things they were able to do around being a top-selling artist. What direction do you think that the industry needs to go to in order to get back into where things were profitable for everybody?
Well, I mean, I think that for one, artists going to have to start becoming artists again. At this point in time where you're just putting out music that sound like whoever's hot, like this is what's hot, this is what we're talking about this month. All right, I'm putting out something like that. If we're doing that, then what's going to happen is, you're just going to have a hot song out, and someone going to want that song. And whatever other artists out that have something hot, they're going to want that. And that's what your whole career is going to be based on. And it'll probably last for a song.
I think it's happening a lot right now, too.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think it's the type of thing where artists got to start being artists again, where they're trying to, they're doing stuff where now your fans want to dress like you. They want to have the same hairstyle you have. They want to have the same tattoo you have. They want to wear the same sneaker brand that you big up on your songs, that type of thing. Like, we have to, like, really learn how to be artists again to make your fans really dig you, where to the point where whatever you're doing, they want to be a part of it. So they're supporting you like an artist and buying all your product and telling a friend. That's how you build those numbers up. Because, I mean, it can even be done online. I believe Robin Thicke just did it. But, Robin Thicke is an artist, He looks like a star. He presents himself like a star. He knows, how to have that star power and that impact on his fan base. And I think that's something that, the artists of today have to really study and understand. I mean, in order if they want to survive in the game, that is.
If you could give new artists who will hear this interview, if you can give them 3 keys to longevity success. A lot of them only here for a couple of years and they're gone. You forgot about them. But if you can give them 3 keys to success and lasting in this industry for 10 years or more, becoming an icon, what would those 3 things be?
Well, number 1, originality. Number 2, honesty. And number 3, passion.
There it is. Right here, Big Daddy Kane on Talk with Todd Show. Now I want to get into some Big Daddy questions, Big Daddy Kane questions. Rolling Stone magazine named the song "Ain't No Half Steppin'" one of the 50 greatest hip hop songs. How did that make you feel? What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think that's great. That's wonderful. You know, I mean, I appreciate it. You know, because I mean, I know that you know, mainly, you know, I guess what they focus on is pop and rock stuff. So, you know, if you know, they took a look over on my side and noticed me, that's dope. You know, I mean, you know, I mean, what I do is for my hip hop base. But if, you know, Rolling Stone give me love, that's cool too. You know, I mean, especially, you know, like I said, you know, I know that what they do is really for pop and rock. So I mean, for them to acknowledge me, I think that's wonderful, man.
And you was one of the first artists to ever have 2 sold-out shows at the Apollo Theater. Now, we know that Apollo is no joke. You can go in Apollo and they will pull you off the stage. There's nothing. Apollo is hard, tough crowd. And you were able to go in there and do it twice. Tell us what it's like performing in front of the Apollo crowd and how were you able to be successful on both of those events, selling them out?
Well, I mean, we've played the Apollo a whole lot, you know. I mean, you know, New York is home for me. You know, New York is home for me. I mean, if you're reading some notes, I think what you might be talking about, you're talking about the ladies only shows, I think.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, that was like, you know, an idea we got from, you know, Teddy Pendergrass, and we thought that it would work, and it was successful. You know, both shows sold out, and, you know, I think it was like around Valentine's, like, time period. So, you know, it was a good look, and they both came off very, very successful, and I was just, you know, I was happy we pulled it off, you know, because it was a hit or miss thing, you know, trying to have a show with just women, you know.
What's Big Daddy Kane working on right now that the people need to know about?
Right now, I mean, I have like about 2 things in development. I mean, it's really too premature to speak on, but I'm looking forward to some nice things happening in 2014.
Oh, man, you gonna just give me that? Just get a little bit. Okay, let me say it like this. I know you can't give it away, so let me ask it like this. Oh, can we expect some new material in 2014?
Oh, well, I mean, it's nothing like that. It's not.
Okay.
I mean, I will say that me and Premier, we have been talking about doing a project together, so that is a possibility because me and Premier have discussed going in the studio and putting a project together. So that is a possibility.
All right. So it's not you. So we're gonna have to wait for the news release to come out and see what's going on with Big Daddy Kane. I do appreciate you coming on the Talk with Todd Show, man, giving us some good game and telling new artists how they can last in this game.
No, my pleasure, man. I appreciate you having me.
Final words, anything you would like to New York City know as far as the artists and bringing New York City back into the forefront of the music industry?
Well, I mean, you know, New York, New York is the birthplace of hip hop, and you know, I've seen so many different genres of music lose their roots. That's something I hope I would never ever see, you know, happen in hip hop, and definitely never ever happen in New York. You know, so I hope that we know how to stay strong and stay original to keep what, our hip-hop forefathers brought to the table alive, I mean, I'm not saying that it has to stay New York. I mean, music is universal. It belongs to the world.
Right.
But, I mean, I hope that New York just stay strong at doing what they do and what we've been doing.
Right. I got one final question, man. I forgot to ask this earlier. And this goes back to the way artists dress and the way they carry themselves. Back then, right, you had LL, you had Big Daddy Kane, you had Run DMC, you had NWA, you had 8-Ball and JG. Every artist from the old era you was able to, they all were standing in a row, right? You can point out Big Daddy Kane, you can point out a Twister or a DJ Quick or, a Luke. Now a lot of artists, they're looking the same. And you can't, I don't know who that is. If artists were to step out and be who they want to be, do you think it would be hard for them to, would it be hard to grasp the fan base that they want, based on the fact that everybody's doing almost what the next person is doing?
Well, I mean, what you're seeing right now, honestly, is not the artist's fault. Well, excuse me. It's not 100% the artist's fault. You do have a lot of artists that are biters and just doing whatever they see everybody else do. But I think that the majority of them is not the case. I think that you have a lot of talented artists out there that's trying to break into the industry and find some sort of way in doing what they do. But what happens is whatever label A&R or label president they're talking to about being signed, or whatever radio person they're trying to get their song played with, or whoever they're trying to make it a mixtape that they're trying to get their song on. These are the people that's telling the artist, yo, I ain't really feeling this, man. Give me something that sound more like such and such. Yo, if you had something that you sounded more like such and such, I could do something with it. I'm looking for someone who rhymes like, whoop-de-whoa. So it's become the type of thing where it's the industry, it's the industry, it's the media, these are the people that's forcing artists to sound just like everybody else, in order for them to even get into the industry.
So if they, let's say they don't want to go, let's say they're in that meeting and they get addressed with this question, but they still want to break out and do their own thing like a CeeLo Green or Outkast, what should be the steps they take just to ensure that they're not losing themselves within the music or losing themselves with what the label wants them to do? How should they really handle a situation like that?
I mean, it's like, I guess it's really a matter of talking to someone who's looking for something different, someone who's looking for something unique. You have to really find that person, that type of label exec that wants something refreshing, who's willing to take a chance. Because lots of times these cats that work for these labels, their job is on the line. They're like, one more flopped artist away from losing their damn job, So it'd be the type of thing where, I guess they can't really take the chance on trying something new, because if it don't work, they may lose their job too, But you have to find somewhere where someone is looking for something new.
The new platinum voice of talk radio is Longino, host of Talk with Taj. Log on at www.talkwithtaj.com.